Yo, what is going on, guys? We have a very serious video today, something that needs to be addressed, and that is the current state of Battlegrounds, which is absolutely horrible. Battlegrounds is dying. It's on life support right now. And man, it is honestly just heartbreaking to me to see something I once loved so much just, wither away to a shell of its former self. And, the people in charge of it just seemingly do not care at all. Like, at all. Honestly, I'm pissed off, man. I'm so pissed off. I've been sick the last couple of days, so I've been spending a lot of time just in bed trying to fall asleep, and my brain just wanders, and it starts thinking, and Battlegrounds pops into my mind sometimes. And, I think about how I used to feel about Battlegrounds. And it's so different, let me tell you how I used to feel. When Battlegrounds, first came out, there was a bunch of betas. So we're going through those betas. On each of the beta, before it was even out, I was grinding my butt off every single beta. Not even the real thing yet. I was playing as much as possible for all those betas. Trying to just get better and practice and learn Battlegrounds, Once Battlegrounds actually came out, I wanted to play it all the time. I just had so much fun just playing it. I would play it just to play it for no rewards, for nothing, because it was so much fun when it first came out, and I was so thirsty. I was so thirsty to get better and to just prove myself as one of the best players in the game. I was so thirsty to do that, and I was like, Battlegrounds is finally the way I can do that. I had been in tournaments before, but all that was before COVID. Everyone forgot about me winning a tournament in 2017. No one cares about that at all. After years and years have gone by after COVID, that's completely irrelevant. If I want to make a name for myself, in the game going forward, Battlegrounds is it. So what I dreamed of was for there to be an actual in-person Battlegrounds tournament. To qualify for that, get into it, and then win it. And then become regarded as the best player. That was my ultimate goal, my ultimate dream, what I had in my mind. That's what I was chasing. That's what I wanted. That's what I was grinding for. And when Battlegrounds first came out, it was filled with hackers, so that sucked. And the rewards were never good. Even from the beginning. And what really just pissed me off was Kabam's all right, guys, Battlegrounds is going to be relic focused rewards. Yeah, go chase relics in Battlegrounds. That's what you want in the most competitive solo mode in the game. Let's chase relics. Well, fast forward years later, they haven't released a relic in how long, dude? The entire identity behind Battlegrounds was supposed to be relics. And that, right from the beginning, that pissed me off. Because I was like, alright, relics are kind of cool, but in Battlegrounds, where you're facing off against some of the other best players in the world and you're pushing for the top spot, it should have the best rewards in the game, not just relics. Who cares about relics, man? Even back then, especially now. Ever since the beginning of Battlegrounds, Kabam has not gotten it right. They've never gotten Battlegrounds right. And there's literally infinite potential with Battlegrounds. And that's what I was so excited about at the beginning was, not Battlegrounds staying the way it is for the next 3 years. It was Battlegrounds back then. I was thinking, it would rapidly grow, change, evolve, and just keep getting better and better and better. But, it's largely the exact same thing from when it came out, which just gets stale and boring in and of itself, So, my goal was I told you guys my goal, and at the first couple seasons of Battlegrounds, I was playing quite a bit, but like I said, there's tons of hackers back then, and the in-game rewards itself were nothing special. I had no desire to really grind all day long, for the amount of time and effort until season 10. We got season 10 of Battlegrounds, and Kabam finally announced actual competitive scene for the game, which my competitive backstory is Call of Duty. I started playing Call of Duty in grade 6, which was Modern Warfare 2. I played it. I was addicted, bro. I played it all day, every day. It's all I thought of, dreamed of. The moment I got home from school, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 all day, every day. I was so bad when I first started playing, but that's what made me want to grind, and get good. And I got good. I got really good at Call of Duty. Unfortunately, all my friends left to League of Legends. So all my real life friends never play Call of Duty with me anymore, which sucked. So I had to find online friends, which was easy. So then fast forward to about, it was grade 9. That's when I kept playing Call of Duty, but that was when Call of Duty Ghosts came out. That was when I found the competitive scene. So instead of just, going into public matches and being, and pub stomping it was called, like any public match I went into, I was easily the best player, But then, and I had a big ego. I thought I was so good. Then I started playing competitively, and I got humbled so fast. Because in competitive, like, everyone was as good as me, if not better, Like, it was completely different, and it was so cool. And it made me grind until I got even that much better. I started to get really good at the competitive aspect of the game. Then there was Call of Duty Ghosts. Then there was Advanced Warfare. For all of Advanced Warfare for an entire year, I played competitively. Playing wager matches, playing in tournaments, just grinding religiously. My goal was to be a YouTuber, a Twitch streamer, and a professional Call of Duty player. That's what I dreamed of. And then I was in high school, grade 11, and Black Ops 3 was out. But what happened was they switched the competitive scene from Xbox to PlayStation. So I had to buy a PlayStation, and I was in grade 11. I was playing that, and dude, my grades weren't that good. My social life wasn't that good. And then they had changed it so that you had to be 18 to be a professional Call of Duty player. And I was 16. And when that happened, I decided to just quit. I retired in grade 11, and I was like, I should probably focus on high school, focus on getting better grades, focus on graduating, focus on maybe having a bit of a social life. And, so that's what I did. And I kind of gave up, on my dreams of being a professional pro player, But then, grade 12, I started playing Marvel Contest of Champions. And, everything is history since then. But, I've always had this, competitive spirit. And I really loved esports. And, I'd always wanted, especially once I became a YouTuber for this game, I always wanted the esports side of Marvel Contest of Champions to expand. Because Battlegrounds is the perfect way for it to expand. Before Battlegrounds, man, the competitive scene was at New York Comic Con. It was you stand in a super long line. You go after 20, 30 minutes in the line, you go up to a fight, and you get one fight only. And if you get a good fight time, you're on the leaderboard. If not, you got to go way back in line and try again. So there's a ton of RNG involved, just in one fight. So and then top 5 on the leaderboard would go and then do a boss fight. And again, whoever did the boss fight fastest wins. That's not really that skill based of a way. Battlegrounds is so much more skill based. And yet still, I think Battlegrounds has so much RNG in it. It could become 10 times more skill based. I have so many ideas to make Battlegrounds so much more skill based, But Kabam loves their RNG. So, I really thought Battlegrounds was finally the way for finally going to pave the way for competitive and esports for this game, And it was season 10 of Battlegrounds when, I finally really got a real spark of hope because they announced the Battle Realm Brawl. And they announced only, the top 8 summoners in the world can qualify. And, I remember it was announced a couple months before it had started, so they gave us some time to prepare, And so I started grinding Battlegrounds more and more and more. And then my emotions also started, being heavily invested. And I remember this one time I got mad and I lost this match just by a second. And I took my hat off. It was I don't have the hat on me, but there's some metal on the hat. And I just got really mad and I turned around and I just threw it as hard as I could. And I freaking broke my window with the hat. And I was like, oh God, that's not good. That's really not good. I had got to control my anger. You got to see me rage on stream, but on stream it's toned down, man. I seriously just threw that hat as hard as I could, smashed a window. That's how emotionally invested, I was in this. That's how much emotion the game was giving me back then. Because I wanted it. I wanted the Battle Realm Brawl so bad. I wanted to qualify for it so bad. And, that's qualifying for the Battle Realm Brawl was insane. The night before the season ended, I tilted and I lost like a bunch of matches. And there was like less than 12 hours left. I wasn't making much headway. I didn't think I was possible. I was in a really weird spot mentally after being broken up with like a week prior. Found out she was like with another guy the entire time. Like my mind was just in a bad place, dude. And like the last day I go on this tilt, there's like barely any time left. And I'm like can't even find matches. So I decided to just live stream. And somehow that like Kabam Jesus just wanted me to qualify for the brawl. Like the stars aligned for me somehow. I won every match on stream. I still don't know how that even happened, dude. Like it must have just been fated for me to qualify. Like there was this one Scarlet Witch fight that was like 16 seconds, had the most absurd RNG possible against Bureau Man. Like it was so crazy. But I think you guys played a massive role too, just being there for me live, having my back, you know, it was huge. And it happened, and my dream came true. You know, I qualified for the brawl. There's the proof right there on my wall. One of my proudest achievements, two of my proudest achievements, my play button right here for 100k subscribers, and my jersey for qualifying for the Battleground Brawl. You know, two of my greatest achievements of my life. And then, you know, once we got to the Battleground Brawl, completely fumbled it. You know, that's a story for another day. But completely fumbled that. But, you know, I had thought there would be another chance to redeem myself. You know, I remember talking to Kabam Mike at the time, you know, before when he still worked there, and he was saying that, I guess I can say he's fired now, so whatever. You know, he was saying that there was going to be a Battleground Brawl for 2024. And he was thinking of expanding it to, like, instead of top 8, like top 30. So I was like, you know, if I already qualified for top 8, top 30 should be a piece of cake, you know? So, you know, like, I thought I was going to have a chance to redeem myself. But all of 2024, there was not a single official Kabam tournament. There was not a single reward update to the GC, to placement. There was just nothing. Absolutely nothing. No love for Battlegrounds for an entire year. Like, what? Man, like, I have just completely fallen out of love with Battlegrounds. You know? Like, so that was 2023. It was the Battleground Brawl. It was October of 2023, you know. So I went to the last season I actually cared about Battlegrounds would have been the very first month of 2024. I literally planned a whole entire trip around the Battleground season. Flew to Las Vegas to stay with my good friend Andrew the Rough, you know, who has finished in Celestial 1 5 times now. When I flew out to grind with him and to stay with him, I don't think he had any Celestial 1 finishes. And even that season, he didn't finish Celestial 1. I think he ended up Celestial 2. So like that's how long ago we're talking here, man. Over a year and 2 months ago. This is January 2024. That was the last season I actually gave a damn about Battlegrounds at all. You know, that season I was trying to push podium top 3, and I left so much work to the very end, and I was just overwhelmed by like stress and the amounts of pushing and everything. I managed to secure Celestial 4 top 10, and like I was just honestly scared to try to push further because like I didn't want to lose Celestial 4, you know. So I just gave up kind of and just, all right, I'll take Celestial 4 and be done with it. And I have not pushed semi-seriously since. You know, that's over a year and 2 months ago. Because I was waiting. I was waiting for there to be, you know, another Battleground Brawl. I was waiting for Kabam to buff the rewards. I was waiting for something for Battlegrounds to get better. And what has happened? Nothing. The mode is the exact same. The store has been updated a little bit, but like it doesn't matter. You know, like the whole, well, there's value in the trophy tokens. Sure, but there's a set value. You can only buy so much per week. You know, right now, I would say there's only one thing worth buying in the Battleground store for a real endgame player. Only one thing. Tier 4 Alpha. That's it. This costs 20,000 trophy tokens per week. That means you would need 80,000 trophy tokens I have 80,000 trophy tokens right now. The season's half over. And I finished Mysterium 1 last season. Like, without much effort. There is absolutely zero reason to actually push in Battlegrounds for time compared to reward. It is the least time rewarding thing you can do in all of the game is to grind Battlegrounds. The least rewarding. That is the biggest waste of time you can do is to spend to grind Battlegrounds. Like, think about that. Like, it's so much more worth your time and effort to simply just play Arena than it is to play Battlegrounds. That is so bad. Like, how can you, as the owner of the game, how can you let that happen? How can you let the game mode that breathed new life into the game, how can you let it fall this far? Like, let me go back a sec again to my mindset when Battlegrounds first came out. You know, it literally changed everything for me. It changed the entire way that I approach and look at the game. It changed everything. Like, every new champion that comes out, I look at them differently. Because now I think, okay, how are they going to be in Battlegrounds? How are they going to be as a defender? You know, like, champions just became so much more three-dimensional to me once Battlegrounds came out. Because I actually cared about, like, everything. Their defensive abilities, their offensive abilities, what they can do. Like, I started caring so much more. I started just thinking so much more. Like, again, when Battlegrounds first came out, I wasn't even close to having, you know, a 30 deck champion deck of, like, all at the same level. You know, like, I had maybe 10 at most of the champs at the highest level out of a 30 champ deck. You know, now, like, my entire deck can easily be rank 3s. Like, it's not a big deal, you know. A lot of people have decks just full of rank 3s. Like, that's not rare now. It's not just the biggest and blubberiest whales that have that. No. Bog standard endgame players have a full deck of 7-star rank 3s now. And yet, the only rank 3 resource is from the Battlegrounds store. Let alone rank 4 resources. You know, like, it's here. That's it. For actual placement, what are you getting for Celestial 1? You know, like, some relic stuff, some trophy tokens, half a time. Like, this is absolutely pathetic. There was one season where just reaching the Gladiator circuit gave you 10,000 Titan shards and 15,000 7-star shards. It gave you the same rewards as Celestial 1. Like, the average person does not even come close to comprehending how much time, just time alone, let alone skill, let alone effort, but just time, how much time it takes to get Celestial 1, let alone everything else, but the time investment alone. And this is it. Like, this is so pathetic. This is so pathetic. My buddy Zarafa, who was a fellow qualifier for the Battleground Brawl, he had a fantastic idea on, you know, how to buff the rewards here. And what he was saying was, you know, his grand idea was to kind of scrap Arena in its entirety and transfer those Arena rewards to Battlegrounds, which I do like. But I think more realistically, what I want to extrapolate from his idea is, you know, instead of us getting, which does not exist currently, you know, a 7-star featured Arena. You can't grind for 7 stars right now. But what if you could grind for 7 stars in Battlegrounds? What if, you know, for whoever got Celestial 5, which there's only 100 spots in Celestial 5, there's 10 spots in Celestial 4, and then 3, 2, 1, there's 1 spot in each of those. So for the top 100 best players per season, what if they got a featured 7-star champion? Why not? They deserve it. You know, the top 100 players. So Celestial 5, what they should get is, you know, a crystal maybe containing the 2 champions that released that month. So for example, for March, you'd get a crystal and it contains 7-star Bastion or 7-star Jean Grey. You spend that crystal, you get one of them. Okay? For Celestial 4, let's say you get Both of them. So if you get top 10 in the world, you get 7-star Bastion and 7-star Jean Grey. And then for Celestial 1, the number 1 player in the entire world for that season should get both Bastion, Jean Grey, and get them Awakened Sig 20. Like, why not? The amount of time and effort it takes to grind Battlegrounds to the top. Reward them, Kabam. Reward your player base. Like, I seriously have absolutely no desire to spend on the game right now. Zero desire. Because why? Why spend? Why make my champion stronger? For Battlegrounds? I don't play Battlegrounds that much anymore. I have no desire to grind Battlegrounds anymore. Like, it's just so stale now. Like, the passion is just lost from over a year of just Kabam ignoring the mode. Like, that passion, I had so much passion for this mode before. I used to stream Battlegrounds so much more. The passion is just gone, dude. Which sucks, because I used to love it so... I used to play it just to play it. But now... like, the rewards, for sure, need to be addressed. We all know that. But that alone isn't even enough at this point, dude. You know, when we went to Vancouver, when I got invited there for the special CCP meetup, you know, my biggest feedback that I gave was pertaining to Battlegrounds. And, you know, I literally have so many ideas. I wish Kabam would just hire me and put me in charge of Battlegrounds and the competitive esports side of the game. And I promise you, I could put this game on the map in the competitive scene, dude. Like, I have so many ideas. The first and biggest thing that we need is a private match. Private match. You know, right now we have friendlies, and, you know, that can only pull from the current 2 metas. That's terrible. This is a joke. Battlegrounds has been out for how many years, and this is all we can do? Are you kidding me? This is pathetic. We've had how many metas? We've had how many seasons? We need a sandbox private match Battlegrounds mode where you can create your own lobby, you can invite someone to it or multiple someones to it, and you can create your own rule set. You can have, you know, draft 10 champions. You can have best of 5 rounds instead of regular box standard best of 3 rounds. You can increase champion health percentages by 1,000%. You can increase timers by... You can put it to like 10-minute fights. You can make it so that like it's Abyss fights. You can make it so that it's like 30-second fights. Like, you should be able to customize it to whatever you want. You know, that way, put all the power in our players' hands to make these private matches so that we can host private tournaments anytime we want. Like I said earlier in the video, you know, I was playing Call of Duty, doing tournaments, doing wager matches. What are wager matches? Wager matches were about basically, you can play for money, real money. In this game, we could have wager matches for units. So, you know, you could challenge a friend, all right, man, let's play this match for 50 units. Imagine how fun that would be, watching 2 YouTubers do a wager match for like an Odin, for like 3,000 units. Wouldn't that be cool? You know, like, we just need really customizability. You know, in Call of Duty, going back to that, again, I had so much fun in private matches in 2 different ways. So back in like Modern Warfare 2, the first Call of Duty I ever played in grade 6, that's when I was playing with all my friends from school, you know. So we would just get into private matches and we'd play up games that we make our own rules, you know. Like, we were making up games that had like nothing to do with Call of Duty. You know, we were playing Cops and Robbers in Terminal, in Burger Town. That's the little jail where you put the robbers. And cops use certain weapons, robbers use certain weapons. Then we played like Michael Myers. So one person is Michael Myers, everyone else has to run away. Michael Myers can only use a knife. You know, we play that on high rise. We can get on the buildings, get on the crane. Like, so much fun, dude. So I had so much fun in private matches, just fooling around with my friends, making up our own games, making up our own rules. That's just fun, you know. That's what we need, that element of fun and enjoyment. And then on the flip side of things, again, I fast forward like 5 years when I was on the competitive scene in like Call of Duty, let's say Advanced Warfare. Again, I was having all my fun in private matches, doing competitive play, doing official competitive rules. So, like, there should be a competitive tournament rule set that most people stick to, you know, and that's what you practice there. And that's still a lot of fun, too. You can practice those rules, get really good, you know, do, like I said, wager matches, do private tournaments, Like, there's the possibilities just with creating a private match function alone are basically limitless, dude. You know, you can create your own metas, you can pull from old metas, like just have all the nodes in there. So you can create your own meta, pull from old metas, change the rules to whatever they want to be, increase timers, increase health, increase attack, decrease it. Just put the power in the player's hands, kabam. If you're not going to do anything with the mode, at least let us be able to do things with mode. If you're not going to host official tournaments, at least give us the tools to host our own tournaments. We'll do it ourselves if you're not going to do it for us, you know? But they can't even do that. Oh, we got friendlies. Like, friendlies are garbage, dude. For how many years into this game we are, how many years we're into this mode, friendlies are just garbage. Player-hosted tournaments, like, we make do with what we have, but they should be so much better, dude. They should be so much better. It's inexcusable for Battlegrounds to still be this pathetic. It's still in this same form that it was before launch, like pre-beta. It still looked like this. And it still looks the exact same. Like, dude, there's so much we can do with Battlegrounds. Like I said earlier, there's so many ways to make it more skill-based. Right now, there's so much RNG in Battlegrounds. And, like, pushing, like, just having more time and playing more than anyone else is probably the biggest advantage right now in Battlegrounds, you know? That's not skill-based. That's who has the most time to play the mode. That's not skill-based. If there was, like, a set amount of matches in a season, you know, like Alliance War, I've heard that idea. You know, there's been a ton of really great ideas from a lot of our people in our community. Andrew the Rough made this video, Battlegrounds is dying, here's how Kabam can save it. I will have links to these videos in the description below. This was Andy's, this was Damn Epic Whales, and then this was Trappy's. We were all in a little bit of a line chat talking about how we can make Battlegrounds better. You know, some of my ideas I saw in Damn Epic's video here. Where was it? It was... One of my ideas was just that... yeah, right here. So, basically, you know, what it could be... Right now, there's a problem with parking. You know, people will park at a certain point. And, you know, right now, in Celestial 5, like I said, it's top 100. It's 100 spots. So if you're Celestial 1, like let's take a look at the leaderboard for a second here, so you can really see what I mean. So for Celestial 5 right now, the number 1 player has 364 points. Let's take a look at the bottom player in Celestial 5 right now. 217, yet they're in the exact same bracket, getting the exact same rewards. That is so stupid. The amount of effort it takes to be Celestial 1, right on the cusp of breaking into Celestial 4, versus just sneaking into Celestial 5, is massive. There's leaps and bounds of gaps. These players should not be getting the identical rewards. So my idea is essentially to have it scaling. So if you're number 97 in Celestial 5 versus, you know, number 68 is getting a fair bit of more rewards because they're ranked higher, even though in the same bracket, but it'll be slightly more percentage rewards based on where you're ranked. You know, I think that makes total logical sense. You place higher, you get more rewards. Pretty simple, you know, and that would help with parking because that would mean every single individual position matters. Every position that you go up, you get more rewarded for. You know, Trappy had a great idea, you know, circling back to Zarafa, what he said with, you know, having the 7-star feature champions being available. But Trappy's saying, give us battle chips. You know, like I said right now, Battlegrounds is essentially the biggest waste of time in-game for effort and rewards that you put in. You know, to a certain extent, once, you know, making it to the Gladiator circuit is totally worth a time investment. I'm saying, like, after that, you know, once your Battleground solo event is complete, once you're already in the Gladiator circuit, that's when it really becomes a waste of time to keep going after that point. Up to that point, there's a certain amount of time invested where it's completely worth it. You know, I'm saying grinding above and beyond that. Right now, it's just basically the biggest waste of time and effort and lack of rewards. You'd be much better off spending that time in Arena. So, why don't we just add what you get from Arena into Battlegrounds, which is battle chips? Which, again, you know, I had some ideas for the wager matches with units, and you could honestly also do wager matches with battle chips, too. But I would love for there just to be a way to earn battle chips. On every match you play, you get a certain amount of battle chips. And it doesn't even need to be ridiculous, but give us some so that we feel like the matches we're doing, we're earning something. We're building it up, a little bit. Because these players will play like 10 matches, and they'll go on a tilt. They'll lose 5, then they'll win 5, they'll get it back. And then they end up basically exactly where they started, maybe minus 5 points, plus or minus 5 points. And after 10 matches of hard work, all they have to show for that is plus or minus 5 points. That sucks. Give them some battle chips. Give them something. Give us something, Kabam. Like, there's so many ideas. I would love for there to be, bigger decks or smaller decks. Right now, it's 30. Love it or hate it. Doesn't matter, it's 30. What if there was, 50 champ decks? What if there was smaller decks? What if there was a Battlegrounds match where there is no draft? You just pick your champions. You tailor pick the exact group of champions that you want. And so does your opponent. You just pick your best of the best. They pick their best of the best. And you go at it. There's so much less RNG in that. You're both picking your strongest champions and you're fighting. There's very, very little RNG in that. That's what competitive Battleground matches should be looking like. We should try to take out as much RNG as possible to make it as skill-based as possible. And really reward our skilled summoners. That's what Kabam needs to do, man. Reward the skilled summoners. And, if, like, Brian Grant made, a really amazing point that, and I've heard some other people make the point that, like, Battlegrounds is by far the most streamable content for creators. I think it was Trappy that said, when you're going into these streamers, Battleground streams, and they're just complaining about the mode and the rewards, that doesn't make new viewers want to, like, download and try the game, But if they're enjoying Battlegrounds, enjoying the mode, loving the rewards, talking it up, that absolutely is going to get people in there wanting to try it. But right now, like, the Battleground sentiment is terrible. It's trash. And rightfully so, because Kabam has completely ignored the mode for over a year. Like, Brian he said something along the lines of, like, Battlegrounds is by far the most interesting thing to watch. And, so if there was competitive tournaments where Kabam, like, on their official Kabam YouTube, and, like, live streams, they're showing this. People will love that. People would love to watch that type of thing. And, like, imagine if you could see, like, matches going on. Like, for example, in Clash Royale, you can spectate. So you can spectate matches and watch them as they're happening live. Imagine if you could do that in game. You could just see some of the best players in the world facing right now, and you just go watch it. That'd be so good for players to just learn and get better by just watching in game people play. That'd be awesome, having a spectate function. Or just, like a match replay function, so you can go back and watch your fights. That would be cool, so you don't have to screen record all the time. Or, sometimes you just forget to screen record, or it fails or something, So that'd be nice if there was a replay function in game. You could replay matches, especially, like, really big matches. And that way you could also just easily see if someone was cheating too. That would really help mitigate cheaters. If you can just see, oh, this guy won the fight in one hit, well, everyone could instantly report him. It could help with that, mitigate cheating. Like, there are seriously limitless and infinite possibilities on way to make Battlegrounds better. There's so many, and yet the mode has been out for how many years, and we've seen nothing. We're on to season 26, and it's largely the exact same thing. And the more and more it goes on like this, the more and more it just starts to feel like an enhanced version of Arena. And a less rewarding version at that. So yeah, guys, that is the rant on Battlegrounds. There's some ideas on how I would fix it. Again, I'm going to have links to my fellow content creators' videos in the description. Shout out to Damn Epic, Andy, and Trappy. And yeah, Damn Epic even said if Kabam doesn't fix this, he's done spending on the game, and he is in the 1% of 1% of whales. If Kabam doesn't fix this, I'm retiring from whaling. Maybe that's what we need to do to get Kabam to listen, is to stop spending money. And like I already said, dude, I have no desire to spend on the game right now. You know, Trappy actually made another great video recently, right after the Kabam stream, and I'm not buying crap until you fix Battlegrounds. This is a great video. He's raging a little bit, and it's hilarious, and he's making some really valid points. You know, like they're shoving so many offers in our faces. They want us to like buy a 7-star Daredevil. Like, no, I'm not buying anything until you fix your game, fix Battlegrounds, make me want to play the mode. Then maybe we can start spending again. So, you know, this might be, yeah, you know, I think I'm officially done spending until Battlegrounds gets fixed. As you can see, I don't even have my sigil active right now. I actually ran out of money on my PayPal, so it canceled. But I'm glad. I'm not going to renew it, not until Battlegrounds rewards are buffed. Kabam needs to listen to us. This isn't exactly a boycott, but yeah, I'm done spending. You know, if you guys want to join in, feel free. The one and only thing I will not stand for, though, and don't do this, is 1-star bombing reviewing the game. I don't think that's helpful. I've never thought that's helpful, and I will never support that because I want this game to keep on growing. But I do want Kabam to listen to us. And I think the best way for Kabam to listen to us is if we just collectively stop spending. I think that's the biggest way for them to hear us out. And yeah, that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for this long video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please drop all your feedback in the comment section, what you think of the video, and any ideas. Brainstorm with us how we can make the mode better, and let me know what idea I had that you liked the most that you heard in this video. And I am still a little bit congested, so if my voice sounded off, that's why I apologize, but I just really felt like knocking this video out today. I was feeling inspired. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.